yourself, you feel, entering year two compared to maybe this time last year?
Yeah, I would say I pretty much figured myself out, figured out my routine, learned about myself way more, and I'm overall happy with the process.
Shedeur, you talked a couple weeks ago at your camp about being down in Miami with Deshaun and some of the guys. How much have you guys been able to kind of carry over what you guys worked on down there, out over these first few days?
Yeah, any rep at any point in time is extremely important. Even the guys that weren't able to make it, we talk about different things in the building, and we work it, after practice some things. So every rep that we able to get with our guys truly makes a difference and truly builds that trust and connection.
How do you assess the way your camp is going there after 3 days?
I'll just take a day at a time. Like, just focus on things I gotta get better at. Focus on the things I gotta be more crisp at, and understand the flaws that I have and keep improving that.
How exciting was it to have Pop here the other day?
How exciting was it?
Yeah.
It was good. Like, I'm overall focused every day by like the practice. So the outside, nothing else really matters. Like, whenever I'm on the field and that. But it's whenever I'm off the field, of course. Like, I'm excited that I see my dad. I ain't seen him in, like, I don't know, since the summer maybe. But yeah, nothing matters when you between the lines.
I know things will intensify when pads come on, but how much work have you seen the defense giving you guys and the entire offense?
Yeah. We get great looks every day, and that's what I'm excited about going into the season, reviewing all the film from last year and mistakes I made, and just being able to recognize, have a better pre-snap, be able to recognize things better, and post-snap also. So the fact that our defense gives us a lot of different looks and everything is truly great that we're able to get that in practice.
When you're talking about pre-snap and post-snap, just the responsibilities in time on offense, you adjusted to all that new information that you've had to absorb and implement this offseason, and how do you think you're coming along out on the practice field when you guys are going through these installs?
Yeah, so of course it's going to be good days, bad days. We always strive to have our best days every day, but I play better and I feel better whenever I have all the information and, I know exactly what's going on at all times. So that's why I just spend every minute, every hour of my time really focused on being the best quarterback I could be and being the best leader for this team I could be. And that obviously translates, because the more information I know, then the more comfortable I am as a person.
Shedeur, Tom Monken talked the other day about cadences and how it can have up to 10 different cadences in a game. How does that compare to last year when you were in the team and even going back to Colorado? Did you have that many different?
Colorado, I can't even think. I don't even go down memory lane no more with Colorado anymore. I see a couple highlights a little there sometimes, but I'm so locked in on this year that I don't think about the years in the prior or live in the past, because that don't benefit or help me get to my goal or the team get to our goal as a team. So it's like nothing matters to me if it is not helping us win, if it's not doing anything. It just don't make sense.
Let me put it this way. Perfecting all of its different cadences, how much of a challenge is that?
I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything's a challenge. It's just about sacrifices. What are you willing to sacrifice to be able to intake, to have the mental capacity to do that? You can't stretch yourself thin.
We look at every practice kind of like as a race between you and Deshaun, and we're judging who's ahead, who's behind. I assume, do you do that? And if you don't do it that way, how do you log that competition out?
We just got to get the next question. I answered this question 1,000 times. We focus on ourselves and what we do and what we need to do to get better each and every day. So that's just something y'all think about and y'all care about,
Shedeur, Monday is the first time the pads will come on. How much are you looking forward to that, and how do you think things will be different for you once that happens?
I live in the present, so I'm looking forward to practice today, and then after that, then I could think.
Shedeur,
What have
it
you
seems
seen?
like over these first handful of days, we've seen you connect with Casey and Denzel Boston a lot. Like, what's it been like getting to work with those two rookies and adding them into your offense?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for them, and overall, I'm happy. I'm really happy that they're here. And all the decision makers made the decisions to bring them here because they definitely they held up their end, and they're definitely a part of the standard that we have here. And it's just exciting being able to see young guys come in and have daily success, and that success daily is gonna add up over time.
Speaking of some of those new pieces, what's it been like playing behind some of the new guys that the Browns added to the offensive line?
Yeah, there's a lot of different personalities though, and I enjoy it. I enjoy all the different personalities. That's what I love the best about them. Like, they all just so different, and it's just a different vibe, a different atmosphere that we have here. Even interacting with each other, like coming to work every day, doing all this stuff. Like, it's exciting being able to see them. This summer, I'm like, dang, I feel like I didn't have many friends, And then I love to get back here and then see everybody, and then be able to spend this time that we have together. And we all working towards one goal, one purpose. So we're all aligned. So it's easy to hang out with each other because on the field, off the field, we both have all the same end goals. So, it's easy to connect with those people.
Why do you think that was last year that you felt like you had not a lot of friends? Was it just the position you were in, or?
Well, I was saying more like in real life. Like, whenever you have like a group of people you hang out with every day, which is like at the facility, those relationships, then you have a break, and it's kind of like, dang, you kind of miss that. I'm sure y'all miss each other too during the break. I'm sure. But just having that type of connection and everything is truly exciting.
Issue, when you talk about figuring yourself out between year one and year two, does that lead to more consistency, you think, day in and day out, and how important is that?
I think it's more about, like, if you're consistent with anything, you're going to be consistent with everything. Like, it's a simple thing. If you eat at this time every day, then you're going to be better and consistent at eating every day at this time. Like, I don't really know.
How about
Two more.
you
It seems
guys
like you're
had
doing a nice job protecting the football so far. How are you balancing that versus being the processing speed and the aggression?
Honestly, I just want to play football. Like, this stuff cool and all, but I'm just here to play football.
Shedeur,
Honestly.
you guys now have Denzel and Grant in practice, which you didn't have throughout OTAs and minicamp. So, and those guys are in the fold. How challenging is it, or how are those guys challenging you as an offense while they're doing your offense?
Who again?
Denzel and Grant, who they weren't
On the
in-
defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean they were not in OTAs or minicamp. So, how have they kind of maybe brought up the intensity on that side of the ball for you guys to go against?
I would say, of course, they're great players. They're overall great players, so when they come in, of course, it's a little different. But we don't really, offensive side, we don't really care. Like, we try to not care about who's on the other side, and we try to attack them, So that's what it is, because them being great make us greater than we are, So it just helps out overall.
How did it feel?
Last one.
How did it feel that yesterday you had that huge crowd of kids just screaming for your name, like you had fans from the youngest being like a baby to the oldest fan that you had? What's it like having that support from Cleveland year two?
It feels amazing, but I wouldn't say like that's anything new. I would say it's just new here. I would say it's I'm thankful that I am able to have a platform and that I'm an inspiration for a lot of people. But I wouldn't say it's super surprising. I wouldn't say it's surprising. I think the work and everything that we put into us, and just overall how life is going so far, I think that's just what comes with it, and I appreciate those relationships. And forget the kids. What about the parents that brought the kids? So that's a big sacrifice right there. So I think the parents that wasn't able to get in, they had to stand on the outside of the gate and watch their kids. But overall, it's a great feeling. But right now, I'm like focus on practice and stuff, and like this isn't really helping, you know, us win games. So I'm not really interested. Appreciate y'all.
guys were obviously down in Miami a couple weeks ago together, you, Shedeur, your teammates. How much have you seen carryover from what you guys were able to kind of get accomplished down there as you know, kind of gotten into camp?
I think the biggest thing that has been carrying over is just the relationships that we built. The time, you know, not just on the field, but just off the field, hanging out, going to dinner, and just being around each other has been great. So you can see the chemistry and the bond between the team is definitely really good.
Deshaun, how do you feel like you have performed in your first 3 days of camp so far?
It's been decent, you know, just working on the different situations that we go through each and every day. So just trying to master that as long as, you know, learning the new system. You know, of course, we had all spring, about 10 weeks to kind of learn the system. But, you know, once you get into training camp, you know, it's a lot of different changes and things like that he kind of throws in. So it's been well, you know, just trying to stack each and every day. You know, you can't win all the days at once, so you just got to take one day at a time and, you know, correct the mistakes that you make and build from there.
Deshaun, the other day, Coach Monken was talking about cadence. Says he wants to have at least 10 in a given game, 10 different cadences. Is that a lot? Have you been through your days where you had to know that many cadences for a game?
Yeah, actually, when I first got into the league, that was very heavy in Bill O'Brien's system. You know, that was from the, you know, Patriots, Tom Brady tree. So everything was required for the quarterback to make the reads, the points, the cadences, and just make sure that everyone was on the same page. So it's definitely something that I'm familiar with.
Physically, Deshaun, how do you feel?
I feel really good. I feel healthy. You know, just got to continue to just build that football shape. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm, you know, working on through this process each and every day. Just try to build that endurance, build that football shape, because it's been a while since I've really been on the field with 11 on 11.
Is it tough at all going back and forth? One day you're with the ones, one day you're with the twos?
Yeah, I mean, it can be because it's hard to build that rhythm. But, you know, at the same time, you as a quarterback, you just try to lock in. You know, you got to be a leader out there, and you got to bring everybody to that standard. And you all got to play that way. So regardless of what, you know, group you're in with or who you in there with, you know, you just got to make sure you execute at a high level. So it's definitely challenging, but at the same time, you know, you can't make that as an excuse, you know, in this job.
Deshaun, I know we've heard other quarterbacks talk about this, but in these training camp practices especially, what's like the fine line for you as a quarterback with testing things out versus like not wanting to make mistakes, not being afraid to make mistakes, like that sort of thing?
I think it just depends on the period and what we're working on. You know, certain things that we work on is like, you know, 3rd and long. So, you know, we have those opportunities. We talk in a meeting. If you get this look or you get certain things, then let's be a little bit more aggressive. This is the time to see if you can make those throws, if the receivers can get their depth, have those timing routes. But this is the perfect time to be able to make all the mistakes you possibly can, because, you know, it doesn't really count. And you don't want to get into a game and you haven't ran that or tried it out, and you tried it in a game and it goes wrong. So yeah, there's a fine line between, but you just got to know and understand what we're working on.
Deshaun, I know it'll intensify when the pads come on, but so far in training camp, what is the offense getting from the looks that the defense is giving you guys out there on the daily?
Oh, it's multiple. I mean, they're doing all types of different stuff, showing us different things. So it's really good, especially for the quarterbacks, running backs, and the O-line, just protection-wise. They're showing us different things each and every time. And then each group is getting different looks. So just because the first group is going up and you think the second group is going to get the same look, they switch it up on us. So it's been awesome for us to be in the meeting rooms and see the different things and try to work on it now.
So Deshaun, given that you know this is the time to kind of make a few mistakes and air it out a little bit, how concerned are you with the fact that, you know, we've seen those back-to-back interceptions on day one and then another one to Quincy yesterday? Are these just things that are going to happen early on in practice when you're just trying to figure out how far you can take things?
Of course. I mean, again, it goes back with timing. Certain things that, you know, the little things with depth and the type of when the ball is coming out and chasing the coming back down to the catch point. But then again, you know, we have a really, really good defense, so they're going to make plays too. So again, like I said, you know, sometimes you want to be aggressive and they're going to make plays. We're going to make plays. So I think it would be really bad if we're, you know, completing all the balls and touchdowns and they weren't making plays. But we have a really good defense and we have a really good offense. We love to compete, and you know, again, we learn from those, and you know, I put that in the memory bank, so I know that, you know, versus this look and this play, that I got to be a little bit more cautious on trying to be aggressive.
What was the thing on the Quincy one yesterday? What did you see on that play? What
Just try to squeeze it in on the IB route towards the middle. That was something that Quincy, even when I talked to him, it was a wing set, and he saw the chip, so he came backside, and our progressions on the right side. So being able to just see the backside coverage on a lot of things, that happened on the first day also. So that's something that, again, I go up to him, he comes to me, he tells me different things, and then, when we get them on the opposite side, he comes to me and asks me what I'm looking at. So it's been really good to learn from each other and compete.
Deshaun, the GoPro cameras, how are those used in meetings, and what are you getting out of the GoPro cameras?
The biggest thing with the GoPros is just being able to see where our eyes are. First off, in the huddle, being able to call the plays, see who we're looking at, and then once we get up there, seeing our eye progression. Whenever the ball snaps, seeing where our eyes are going, looking at the defense, and it's a good point of view, a different point of view for us to be able to, learn and study.
Deshaun, how much of getting back to form and playing at the level you want to is, kind of getting back to the speed of the game? Is that something you think you're still kind of getting acclimated to?
Man, that's gonna grow. I think I can't remember who mentioned it, but that's when the pads come on and things kind of really get, bullets are really flying. But the biggest thing for me is just let my instincts take over. So not doing that, not doing anything extra, and not doing anything less. Just kind of just staying balanced and letting it come. So day to day is getting better. And honestly, I think the biggest thing is just playing football. So whenever the preseason games come up and we're out there playing, I think that's what we can learn. And just each game is just an opportunity to get better at it.
Deshaun, just kind of off of that, how important is how much are you kind of looking forward to getting to play some preseason snaps, whether it's all 3 games, 2, whatever that Coach Monken decides to do?
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played football in a long time, so for me, it doesn't matter how long I play, how many games I play. I just want to play football. A lot of people wrote me off and said that I wouldn't be playing football again after 2 Achilles injuries. So, I'm proving that wrong and I'm proving myself right. So, it's a great opportunity for me to get out there and showcase what I can do.
Coach Monken has talked about, now that you're healthy, your athletic ability, your mobility and all that, and he wants to utilize that. More designed runs. How do you feel about that part of the offense that you're stepping into?
I'm comfortable with it. We had short talks about that, but and again, I think he knows. He came from a guy in Lamar who won 2 MVPs and used his legs as much as he's throwing, and I think he knows how to call the right plays at the right time for the quarterback to be able to use his feet. So I'm going to trust him and the coaching staff, and whenever those plays called, just try to execute.
Do you have a time in mind when you're hoping that coach makes a decision on the starter?
I have no idea. I think every day, just taking it one day at a time. And I think, the organization and coach is going to make the best decision for the team, and we just got to go from there.
Deshaun, what would it be like for you if you do come out and play like you did in 2020, to go 6 years without to come back and play like that? How incredible would that be?
I mean, it'd be awesome. That's what I'm playing. That's what I'm training for and working for. So that's what's been in my mind the whole time, is just playing really, really good, productive football so we can win a lot of games here. And that's the ultimate job. You got to win in this business, and if you're not winning, then they're going to find somebody else. But, that's the ultimate job, is to come out, play well, produce, and win.
Couple more.
Talk about the rookies impressing, especially Casey and Denzel, but at the big picture, all of the rookies, how impressed have you been, and how much do you think that these new guys are going to help the offense and just the team in general?
Yeah, I think Casey in Boston has been doing a heck of a job picking up the offense, being able to learn from the other veteran receivers in the room, but just making plays. And I think just being able to see them come out here and just go up for balls, make contested catches, has been really good. I think they're going to be very productive and helpful for this offense.
How does your accuracy feel? I mean, the last time you played live ball in 2024, you said your arm wasn't completely 100%.
Right.
So how does it feel now? How's the ball coming out? Is it going exactly where you want it to go? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think this 2 years removed from my shoulder injury, really 3 years, 23. So, coming back in 24, I was only like 7, 8 months from that injury. Wasn't where I was comfortable with it, but, when they're investing, you got to play, so you got to perform. But you can't make that as an excuse. But right now, sitting here talking to you guys, I feel very comfortable, very strong. fluent. You know, now it's just building that trust within the receivers because everyone runs different routes. We have different type of guys, so just being able to call that trust and let it rip. I think that's the biggest thing, and don't be afraid of it. So.
We talked to Jimmy yesterday, and he was asked about the potential of you potentially coming back next year, and he kind of left the door open, saying that anything could happen. Do you kind of view it in that same light that there is potentially a future here still in Cleveland?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think when I first got here, it was a lot of stuff going on, as the world know. But I don't have no bad feeling towards Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Me and my wife, we got our house on the east side, so we here all the time. We were here this summer. If you ask around, I'm at pretty much all the restaurants. I'm hanging out, so I haven't had a bad experience outside of, just different times in the stadium. But again, I don't know why that narrative is out there that people think that I don't like Cleveland and my family. We've been enjoying it. We've been enjoying our time here, and yeah, that if the opportunity shows up, and we'll see where it goes. But you go.
Last year when you weren't playing, you were still in meeting and helping Gabriel and Sanders in their rookie year. What does Shedeur look like now, a year after?
Yeah, he's definitely improved. He's grown a lot. You can see within his fundamentals, his reads, being able to execute, call the plays. So you can tell he's a lot more comfortable, and that he's been putting in the work to be able to be where he is right now.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.